Right now, as you watch this video, you are standing in the middle of the world's oldest and most sophisticated crime scene. But there are no sirens, no yellow tape, and no fingerprints. The weapon isn't a gun, it's a pen, and the motive is the total control of human civilization. Did you know that the money in your pocket isn't actually an asset? It's a receipt for a debt that can never be fully repaid. What I am about to tell you is a story the banking elite would prefer remained buried in the dusty basements of history. This is the dark birth of finance. If you stay with me until the very end of this video, you will never look at a dollar bill or a bank app the same way again. I am going to show you exactly how the world was tricked into trading its freedom for paper, and how nothingness became the most powerful force on Earth. The deception began centuries ago in the shadows of the Middle Ages. Back then, wealth was tangible. It was gold and silver. But gold was heavy, dangerous to carry, and a magnet for thieves. People needed a solution. Enter the goldsmiths. They had the strongest vaults in town, so people began leaving their gold there for safekeeping. In return, the goldsmiths gave them a simple paper receipt. Soon, something strange happened. People realized these paper receipts were much easier to trade than the gold itself. The paper became the money. The gold stayed in the vaults, gathering dust. And that is when the goldsmiths noticed a fatal flaw in human psychology. Nobody ever came to check on their gold at the same time. This realization gave birth to the greatest fraud in human history: fractional reserve banking. The goldsmiths got greedy. They realized they could issue 10 times more paper receipts than the gold they actually held. They were lending out ghost gold money that didn't exist and charging real interest on it. They were literally creating wealth out of thin air and using it to buy the world. But a local scam wasn't enough. To truly rule, this system needed a partner in crime: the state. Kings and emperors were always broke from fighting endless wars. When they ran out of gold to tax, they turned to these shadowy bankers. The deal was simple but deadly. The bankers would create the money for the war, and the king would guarantee the debt by taxing the labor of his subjects for generations to come. This was the moment the trap snapped shut. Finance was no longer about helping people trade. It was about weaponizing debt. Entire nations were being shackled before they were even born. But how did this magic trick evolve into the massive central banks we see today? And who are the mysterious figures who hold the keys to this phantom empire? By the end of this series, you'll see the invisible strings being pulled. But first, we need to understand the first major victim of this system and why it might be you. We are going behind the curtain of the great illusion. Let's begin right now. As you watch this video, you are standing in the middle of the world's oldest and most sophisticated crime scene. But there is no body, no blood, and no sirens. The weapon isn't a gun. It's a pen. And the motive: the total control of human civilization. What if I told you that the money in your pocket isn't an asset, but a debt receipt that can never be fully repaid? Today, I will reveal the secrets that the financial elite want buried in the deepest vaults of history. By the time you reach the end of this video, the way you look at your wallet and the world will change forever. I'm going to show you how nothingness became the most powerful force on Earth. It all began centuries ago in the shadows of the Middle Ages, within the vaults of the early goldsmiths. Back then, wealth was tangible. It was gold and silver. It had real weight, real value. But carrying gold was heavy and dangerous. So, people started leaving their precious metals in the secure vaults of trusted goldsmiths, receiving small paper receipts in return as proof of deposit. Soon, these paper receipts began to circulate from hand to hand. People were spending the paper instead of going through the trouble of retrieving the actual gold. It was just more convenient. And at that exact moment, the goldsmiths noticed a fatal flaw in human psychology. Nobody ever came to check on their gold at the same time. This simple observation gave birth to the greatest fraud in history: fractional reserve banking. The goldsmiths realized they could lend out receipts for gold they didn't even have. They were creating money, wealth, out of thin air, and charging interest on it. It was the perfect scam. If someone borrowed a receipt for 10 gold coins, they had to pay back 11. But that 11th coin, the interest, was never created. It was pure profit for the goldsmith, conjured from a promise. This loco scam quickly evolved into a phantom empire when it merged with the endless hunger of kings for war. Monarchs needed vast sums of money to fund their armies and conquer new lands, so they borrowed heavily from these New Age bankers. In exchange, they gave the bankers the power to collect taxes from the citizens. Essentially, kings mortgaged the future labor of their people to finance their ambitions. Your future earnings became the collateral for their debts. The average person was now unknowingly working to pay off loans they never took out. But for this system to achieve total, global dominance, it needed a global anchor. It needed a centralized institution to make this deception permanent and legitimate. The stage was set for the ultimate power grab. The year is 1910. Off the coast of Georgia, USA, lies a secluded sanctuary. Jekyll Island. 7 of the most powerful men in the world met there in total secrecy. They arrived on a private train car, using only their first names to conceal their identities. We're talking about representatives of the Rockefellers, the Morgans, the Rothschilds dynasty, the titans of industry and finance. For 6 nights, they drafted a plan. Their goal was not to save the economy, but to hijack the power of money creation from the government and place it firmly into their own private hands. 3 years later, their secret plan became law. The Federal Reserve was born, not as a government agency, but as a private cartel of banks given a monopoly over the nation's money supply. Since that day, money has become a product, not a measure of value. It is manufactured, rented out, and controlled by a handful of unelected individuals. Here is the dark mathematics of the trap they created. When a central bank, like the Fed, prints $1 billion and lends it to the government owes them that billion plus interest. But here's the catch. The bank only ever prints the principal, the $1 billion. The money to pay back the interest was never created. It doesn't exist. This means that, mathematically, there is never enough money in existence to pay off the total global debt. The only way for the government to pay back its debt is to borrow even more money, which creates even more debt. It's a legalized Ponzi scheme designed for perpetual growth of debt. It ensures that someone, somewhere, must always go bankrupt. It's a game of musical chairs where there is always one less chair than there are players. We call the side effect inflation, but in reality, it is the silent theft of your life's work. Every time new money is printed, the value of the money you've saved goes down. While you sleep, someone in a cold, quiet room changes a digit on a screen, and years of your sweat and toil are evaporated in a single second. Your savings are being systematically drained, and you're told it's just the normal cost of a growing economy. But as the world moves from paper to digital, the trap is becoming even more suffocating. The masters of this system are no longer satisfied with just controlling your debt. They want to control your behavior. We are moving toward the final stage, what some call the end game. Imagine a world where your money has an expiration date, forcing you to spend it before it vanishes. Or a world where your digital currency can only be spent on certain items the government approves of. Think you can buy a plane ticket for a protest. Maybe that transaction gets declined. This is the promised future of central bank digital currencies, or CBD. In such a system, if you dissent, if you speak out against the official narrative, they don't need to arrest you. They just need to turn off your ability to survive. They can freeze your account, block your purchases, and effectively erase you from the economy with the click of a button. The death of cash is the final wall of this global prison. In a world without physical money, you have no privacy, no autonomy, and no escape. You become a simple data point on a centralized ledger, your every transaction monitored and controlled. But every empire, no matter how powerful, has a weakness. The elite's greatest fear is a public that understands their magic trick. When the illusion is revealed, the power of the illusionist disappears. They fear decentralized assets that they cannot control. They fear real, tangible commodities like gold and silver that have held value for millennia. And most of all, they fear your awareness. They fear you right now. Understanding how their game is played, perhaps the only way to defeat the Matrix is to stop believing in the illusion. True freedom isn't found in the paper scraps or digital numbers they grant you. It's hidden in real value, in self-sovereignty, and in the refusal to be a pawn in their game. You have now seen behind the curtain. The strings that control the puppets are visible. There is no going back from what you now know. The only question that remains is this. Will you continue to dance to their tune? Or will you find the courage to cut the wires? The choice is yours. Thank you for watching. If this video opened your eyes, share it with someone who needs to see it, and subscribe for more truths they don't want you to know. But as the world moves from paper to digital, the trap is becoming even more suffocating. The masters of this system are no longer satisfied with just controlling your debt. They want to control your behavior. We are moving toward the final stage, the one they've been preparing for decades. The end game. Imagine a world where your money has an expiration date. A world where your savings vanish if you do UNT spend them fast enough to stimulate the economy. Or worse, imagine a world where your money can only be spent on items the government approves of. This isn't science fiction. This is the era of central bank digital currencies, or CBD. In the old world, even with all the debt, cash gave you a tiny window of freedom. It was untraceable. It was yours. But in the coming digital cage, every coffee you buy, every book you read, and every person you support will be recorded on a centralized ledger controlled by the very people who created the debt trap in the first place. If you protest, if you dissent, or if your social credit score drops, they don't need to send the police to your door. They simply press a button and turn off your ability to buy food, pay rent, or survive. The death of cash is the final wall of this global prison. It is the ultimate tool for total social engineering. In a world without physical money, you have no privacy, no autonomy, and no escape. You are no longer a citizen. You are a data point that can be deleted at will. But every empire, no matter how powerful, has a weakness. The elite's greatest fear isn't a rebellion of weapons. It is a rebellion of the mind. They fear a public that finally understands their magic trick. They fear decentralized assets that they cannot print. They fear real, tangible commodities. And most of all, they fear your awareness. Because once you see the strings, the puppet master loses his power. The system relies on one thing: your belief that their paper and their digital pixels have value. Perhaps the only way to defeat the Matrix is to stop believing in the illusion. True freedom isn't found in the paper scraps they give you or the numbers on your screen. It's hidden in real value, in self-sovereignty, and in the radical refusal to be a pawn in their game. You have seen behind the curtain. You have looked into the dark genesis of the world you live in. The strings are visible now. The only question remains: will you continue to dance to their rhythm, or will you be the one to finally cut the wires? The curtain is closing, but the real story is just beginning. The choice is yours.